I'll check.
We need to go live anyway.
We do.
Should we go live?
Let's go live. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, good evening out there in the glory that is the YouTube. My name's James Ivey.
I'm Paulie Drew.
And for some reason, mate,
I don't know why I've made it Paulie.
I don't know. I don't know. We've got some technical gremlins creeping in this evening. I can see Paul's all this stuff. I really don't know what's going on. You don't want to see our chat. Let's bury all this stuff. I just don't know what's going on this evening. We're trying to be clever as always, and it never works, does it?
It messes up. We should never be clever.
So
we ain't.
We really ain't. So good evening, one and all. Thanks for joining us for our weekly shindig on the internet. Tonight we thought we would try something a little bit different again, just to be brave and stuff. And we're going to talk about some of our favourite plugins. That's favourite plugins, as in the stuff that goes in DAWs. I'm not going to try and be clever and shoehorn hardware in there because I'm just not going to try and do that. I thought we'd talk about some of our favourite plugins, the utilities we like to use. I basically looked down the Pro Tools plugin list and went, right, an EQ, a compressor, a limiter, a reverb, a delay, a modulation. So we've got one of each. And please feel free to
disagree.
Well, definitely disagree. Also feel free to put comments in and ask questions and maybe suggest alternatives, all that sort of stuff. It's an open house as usual. So do you want to go first? Do you want to dive in there, Paul?
I was thinking just while waiting for people to turn up. I know we've got 15 here already. Hello, everybody.
Which is amazing, by the way.
Do you want to? I know, it's nice. Yeah, we had over 50 last week, which I thought was great.
Yeah,
really nice. I was just wondering. 60 is going up. Yeah. So, what have we been up to this week? Should we just talk about that first, and then just while people are coming in?
You go first, mate.
Do you want to talk about you? Okay. Well, you came over to mine on Friday.
I did. We actually had a socially distanced shoot, didn't we?
We did.
The green beast that is the McDSP APB 16.
Yeah, and like seriously, guys, it's not just that James works for McDSP or James doing some work for McDSP, but that thing is awesome. So if anyone is thinking about getting an APB 16, do it. It's proper good.
It's a bit good, isn't it? I mean,
it's proper good.
We really got a chance to dig in. OMG.
Mark Guitars from Carshalton. Mark, I used to live in Sanderstead, so very near you.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, isn't it? I mean, I've actually now got the Mu X mixer set up on my laptop, so if we get time towards the end, we can go in and I can talk a bit about that. But our video shoot on Friday will be going live soon. Actually, it's gone to the great and the good at McDSP in California to be tweaked and had it made to look lovely with all the overlays and stuff. And then it'll be live. I've also been doing some tutorials on it, which is nice. It's really good, isn't it? It's really good.
Mike, I haven't bought one, by the way. No, I haven't bought one. I'd like one. I think I will eventually. I might need to sell some gear to get it because it ain't cheap.
But it's a mind blower, isn't it? It really does blow your noggin when you go. But why? Why does it? How does it do what it does? It just does. Accept it and move on.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at some. Some questions. Right. Yeah. Should we just move on then? Should we just get on with it?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to demonstrate some stuff. So I don't know what you're doing.
I am also going to demonstrate some. This is where I phoned Paul about 11 o'clock, wasn't it? And said, I've had a great idea for tonight's. Laughably, I call it our show because, hey, I desperately trying to be a TV lovey, but I had this idea, and then I realised that half the plugins I probably want to talk about aren't actually installed on this machine, the one you're seeing. So there might be a little bit of, Paul, can you show a picture of that, please, and show that doing something, etc., etc.
Yeah.
None of this is planned, like we ever plan anything. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Right. I'm going to talk about my favourite vocal compressor.
Ooh.
Or favourite compressor. By the way, guys, if anyone's got any questions that aren't related to this, please feel free to ask away, and we'll sort of go through it and answer some questions as we're going along. But okay, so today I tried to load up all of my favourite compressors, and my favourite vocal compressor is the Waves CLA 2A. I think it sounds absolutely fantastic, but for some reason, you see, me and James used to work for another company that we have something called an NFR, which is a timed demo, a long time demo, isn't that right, James? I don't know what it was on Waves.
NFR technically stands for not for resale.
Not for resale. And
so
literally, yes, we get like 6 months for free. So mine's literally just run out. So what I'm going to do instead, James, can I show my screen?
You can.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go there. Start sharing.
And
I'm going to go to Luna.
There we go.
Can you see me?
You can see you, I think. Yes, there we go. Let me just...
Right, now I've got a lot... I've got a lot of my favourite plugins on here anyway, on this vocal track, so I'm going to demonstrate this. So, the LA2A. For me, the ultimate vocal compressor.
Okay, go for it.
No, you got to ask why.
Why, Paul? Why is the LA2A the ultimate vocal compressor? I mean, I agree with you.
Because it sounds great and it's incredibly simple to use. So anyone can use this. So let me just play it. Here we go. This is with it in.
Show us the plugin.
Oh, can you not see it?
No, I can't see the plugin.
Oh, that's bizarre. It's up on my screen. Hold on.
Oh, there you are again.
How about if I do that?
There we go. Lovely.
There we go. Right. Yeah. For some reason, it's all I can share is a plugin. So anyway, here's a plugin. So here's what it sounds like. And yes, I do love to compress. So, really simple to use. You've got your gain, which is basically your output gain, and your peak reduction. So this is basically the amount that you want to compress by. So, if you really want to slam it, even more than I'm doing at the moment. Let's get back to a more sensible level. There you go. And it's great because it adds that little bit of air and sheen on the top.
Nice. Yeah, it is one of my go-tos for vocals, for bass. I love it on bass.
Yeah, in the limit mode.
In the limit mode on bass. It's
a
a great. I'd love the hardware, but they are, well, strictly speaking, completely illegal in the UK.
Yeah, how bonkers is that?
Because of the, I want to say because it's cadmium in the photo cell. I think.
Yeah, it's some carcinogenic business or something other. Anyway, what's yours?
My first one is going to be, and again, this is where Paul's going to have to jump around into his plugin list and start diving in. Could you find me what I think is, quite frankly, the best EQ, bar none? You can use it as a mastering EQ. You can use it on a channel. You can use it for buses. The UAD Millennium NSEQ2. This is a killer plugin. It's just you can overcook it if you try hard enough, but you've really got to give it some beans to overdo it. In MS mode on your master bus, it is absolutely mwah.
Well, shall I stick it on the master bus?
Yeah,
shall I do that?
Do that.
Okay.
See what happens.
Let me just remove it from there. Let me just do that and just put it on the master.
Paul's going to vanish. There he is. There he is. And oh. Is that your concentration face, Paul?
You're lucky I haven't got my tongue sticking out.
Okay.
Talk me through it.
Well, it's a really easy to use quasi semi parametric, but you've got 4 bands in stereo, and it's just lovely. Frequency selection on the top, 2 bands of Q in the middle, and gain on the bottom. Really easy to use. The presets, okay, I am a bit of a preset junkie sometimes, but it just sounds so good. There's an MS mastering preset. I think it's called like Tube MS or something like that, or Solid State MS. It's so good. Just, it's like one of those makes it better buttons.
Oh, okay.
Really nice EQ, really easy to use, and just sounds great. It's not terribly thirsty. You can use it for channel. So I often use this on my drum group, on guitar groups, just to really get a really nice, cohesive, tight sound. It's great.
Should we hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
Lose my step and stumble.
It's not harsh, is it?
Nice.
It's not harsh at all. Gives you a nice top end, nice shiny top end, but you're not gonna kill anybody, cut glass or anything like that. And if you put it into MS mode, it just does something magical. And then say pull some bottom end out of the what is the side channel but not the mid. And it just does a lovely stereo-y thing that I just really like. I like MS processing anyway, but I really like MS processing through this thing.
Awesome, yeah, nice one.
I like that a lot.
Nice.
Right, go for it, buddy.
Okay, right, I'm going to bring up a controversial one.
Okay.
Are you checking the comments, by the way? Because I can't see the comments.
I can, yeah, I can.
Okay, great. So if anyone's got any questions to ask, just bang it. Yeah, just shout out, yeah?
Will do.
Right, I'm going to bring up a controversial one.
Go on, get controversial with me. You just shot me in the heart.
This is I mean, the reason I'm showing everyone this is because this is the sound of pop. As far as I'm concerned, this is the sound of pop. It doesn't matter. Now, to me, it doesn't matter if you're a good or a bad singer. This adds something to a vocal that just sits it in a mix.
The thing is with auto-tune, even and you're absolutely right. There's something it does. I remember listening to, I think in fact it's recent. All the kind of pop Bublé tracks, the Michael Bublé songs, where
my god, yeah, absolutely.
Right? And I'm like, you do not need auto-tune on your voice. You can sing, man.
Yeah.
But they've auto-tuned it to give it that pop sound.
Absolutely.
And I hate them for doing it, but it does do that thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does definitely do that thing. I think it's great. And so I use this. It doesn't matter if you're a good singer or a bad singer. I use this just to tighten up the sound of the vocal tuning. And I use it in a way you can't hear it. I mean, tell me if you can hear this. Tell me if you can hear it.
Lose my step and stumble. Darkness comes from under.
No, I'll be honest, you can't. But it wasn't getting slammed. You also haven't got it in.
No. Okay, you can do that, and then you can do that and make it sound like this.
Darkness comes
Yeah, you can do that, but I'd never do that because it sounds crap.
But it sounds like a lot of modern records. That's the scary thing.
Yeah, but it's honestly, it's such a great plugin, and it is the sound of pop. And I would highly recommend everyone to try it if you're trying to produce pop music. It's a must. It's an absolute must.
We've got a few questions coming in.
Do it.
One from, hang on, sorry, because I'm trying to drive here and read here as well. Mike Ayton says his favourite compressor is basically Sonox, and a bit more Sonox. And for the sort of stuff you do, Mike, yeah, absolutely,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense for in the post world. LA2A has a very slow release, he also says. So, Tommy...
I'd say it has a slow attack. It's a really slow attack. I'm not sure the release is that slow.
Yeah. It's fixed, isn't it? Fixed attack, fixed release. That's why it sounds like it does.
Yeah, but the attack is a slow attack, and I always use a slow attack on vocals anyway. So.
Someone said about the emphasis setting. Now, it's funny, actually, because the emphasis setting is on the UAD one. It's also on the Clark Technic 2A, the KT2A, the hardware I've got down here, but it's not on the warm, which is interesting. That's why I always use the KT on bass the warm on bass and the KT on vocals, because you have got that emphasis control. And most people will say, surely you want it the other way around. You want the emphasis control on the bass. I'm like, no, because you always want to compress the bass. That's what you're doing it for. In my opinion, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
Tommy Kujala, I'm going to go with.
Hold on. Yeah, go on.
Says best plugins for adding colour to a track. Define colour, I suppose, is a very anything.
Yeah. Can you?
Anything valvey normally, any valve emulation or kind of saturation-y type stuff is good for colour. One of the best coloured vocal processors I ever heard was the Waves Butch Vig. Really cool, really nice way to get that kind of aggressive, dirty vocal, but not sound like you're getting a really super aggressive, super crunchy vocal. One to check out from our friends at Waves.
Can I just answer Tommy's other question? So Tommy's just put, do you use auto-tune in conjunction with Melodyne? Yes, without a doubt. And that's why if you listen to my vocals or any vocal that I produce, I personally don't feel that you can hear the auto-tune, because I'm using Melodyne very, very, very lightly, and I'm using auto-tune very, very lightly. And I think the combination of those two really just pulls in out of any out of tune vocal, and it gives it that really nice pop sheen. And Mike also said, don't let that auto-tune anywhere near my Bob Dylan. I'd love to hear Bob Dylan through auto-tune.
I'd actually be quite scared of that, I think.
I'd love to hear that.
That would scare the living out of me. Bob Dylan on auto-tune. Bizarre.
Okay, hold on a sec. Let's just ask another question. Paul Sells' guitar question. Last week, you both suggested expensive guitars are the only way forward. Why? Tone, playability, build quality. Also, what's the level? At what level does what level does paying more make less difference? 2K.
Oh, now what was that guitar? No, do you know what? It was quite funny talking about guitar shop.
Go on, you talk. Go on. I've got Harrison.
We can still hear you when you say that.
I know. I got my son here because Mummy went out and had a walk, and he's watching YouTube videos with his headphones in, and that's it. He's not leaving now. That's it. Wait. Anyway, we're gonna have to keep going. Okay, go on then. Right,
we had a conversation last week. One of the UK resellers that I'm on the mailing list for. I think it was Guitar.
Yeah.
I think it was Guitar.
Yeah.
Sent round a mailing list and saying they have a new range of guitars in stock for not that much money. Or rather, no, they had the particular type of guitar, and I thought, do you know what? I could be up for one of those guitars, and it was the Matt Bellamy Manson Manson?
Yeah. Manson
guitar.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? I quite fancy that as an instrument. I thought, I'm just going to click on that email and I'll improve their stats and all that sort of stuff. And I went onto the site and it was like 499 quid. And I went, nah. Because you can buy a Squier for that sort of money, or an Epiphone Les Paul, for example, and they're not fabulous guitars.
No.
So I think if it had been up towards $1,000 and a nice guitar, I would have probably pulled the trigger on that. But I was like, for me, 500 quid is still a below average guitar. I'm normally up.
Yeah, I do agree with you, and I think one of the things we should probably say to Tommy is it was Tommy that asked the question, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Oh no, Paul asked the question. Snobbery pays a lot of, I'm not proud of it, and I'm sure James isn't proud of it either. But for me, the main reason is resale value. So I know that I could go and buy a second-hand Fender custom shop, and in a year's time, I could sell that for at least what I paid for it, if not more.
You reckon it would stay that long in your guitar collection? You turn your guitars over every 6 weeks sometimes.
No, I don't. No, I don't. All my Fenders. No, there's like one guitar that sort of rotates. All of my Fenders, I've had that Strat. I've had that custom shop Strat for about 4 years.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I paid a crazy amount of money for it, like so cheap, and it's worth easily $1,000 over what I paid for it, because the prices go up, and they always go up. And Fender custom shops always go up. So that's probably So snobbery is a thing. It's a really bad habit. But
the only time that I will. I mean, bear in mind, first and foremost, I'm not a guitar player. I do play guitar. I would say I'm an average guitarist who owns many guitars. Not all of them are super high-end expensive. In fact, most of them are not super high-end. Certainly not to the high-end of some of Paul's guitars. Most of mine average around about the sort of 800 to 1,500 mark-ish. Which is still, agreed, a lot of money. But when you think that I could easily drop, 1,800 to $2,000 on a snare drum without blinking. It's it's one of those things. I bought a new pair of hi-hats last week, and that was 500 quid for 2 cymbals.
What?
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Lumps of metal.
Yes, new lumps of metal as well. Not even vintaged or aged or anything like that. But they're very nice. I'll talk about that later. So yeah, guitar snobbery, and it's funny. I was talking to a mate of mine who I was hoping might be joining us today on the stream.
He might be.
He might well be. He might well be in a minute. And we were talking about how there are. Okay, how can I say this without being sued royally? There is a particular brand out there at the moment in the world that are making copies of legendary keyboards, and they're making them very inexpensively. And we were talking about how this particular brand are, in my opinion, not trashing the synth market. And my theory behind that is that if you are a guitar player and someone says, here is a Squier Strat, what you really want is a Fender logo. A Fender logo, not a Squier logo. You want a Fender Strat. You want a real one. You probably want a custom shop one. You want to play a really nice one that's probably a few quid. And I think the same is the same with these kind of keyboards. You might buy a copy of a Moog for 400-500 quid. What you really want is a Voyager for $3,500, or an old one for even more if you can. So I think it's aspirational. While I don't necessarily agree with some of the tactics used by said company, I can't shoot them in the face and say it's wrong, because all they're doing is what guitar companies have been doing for years, copying someone else's design, putting a different logo on the headstock, and actually building the brand aspiration, if you like. They want to have the one with the real headstock logo rather than the fake. or the copy, should we say, not fake.
Yeah. I've just worked out that company you're talking about.
I shall step off my soapbox now.
Do you know what? Bruce Brooks has just said, a great guitarist will still sound great on a mediocre guitar, but still greater on a great guitar. That is a great comment. I mean,
which is why I have to buy decent guitars.
yeah. There's no excuse. If you've got a good guitar, there's no excuse. You can't go. I still sound rubbish. So,
but I can sound. I can make a £300 from Argos drum kit sound good because I can play drums. It's never going to sound the same as that Sonar. It's just not. It never in a billion years. The reason I bought that kit is because it is the best sounding drum kit I have ever heard. Full stop. Period. End of.
Yeah.
And it's a kit that it makes me play better. And the same is true of guitars. I've had people come in here with Squier Strats who've gone, oh, I'd love to play your one on this, and it does this whole elevation thing. It takes them up a level. I've got a real Les Paul, a real Strat, a real Telly, because they're aspirational. They're not super high end ones by any stretch, but they are, what some would call the real deal. Anywho, back to plugins.
Well, there's more questions coming in actually. Should we do a couple more? If people want us to shut up about guitars, please say shut up about guitars and get back to plugins. But there's there has been some really good comments.
Okay.
Safey says pickups. I want to resurrect my Strat. I ruined the tone with an early 2000 Seymour Duncan Hot Rails. Yep. You do that.
Certainly would do. Yeah.
Yeah. Which pickup would you recommend for boutique vintage? Yet somewhat quieter. Oh, you want quieter? Oh, see, I was going to say just go and get a set of Fender Custom Shops, but have a look at Monty's pickups. They're made in the UK in London. Sound brilliant. We'll get through this. Go on.
So I was going to say, if you want, I suppose it's not really a vintage Fender sound, but if you want quiet, the lace sensors are amazing.
Yeah. So. I mean, they're not really. I really like them. I do like them, but I think they're not really.
It's not a twangy. It's not a twangy Fender sound, is it?
Nah, it's not. Nah.
But hey.
Yeah. Either get a set of Fender Custom Shop pickups, or go and have a look at Monty's guitars. That's what I would say. Mark, I bought an early 90s Squier for 30 quid and added decent pickups and switchy bits. It's now a seriously good sounding Strat with a resale of about 100 quid. Not my main guitar, but I built that myself. Brilliant.
And you're absolutely right. Occasionally, you will get a Squier or a Mexican or a Jap Strat, and they will be a knockout because it's a tree when all's said and done. It's bits of a tree. And you can't. I'm sure there are tree whisperers out there who can look at a tree and go, that will make an amazing guitar. But I doubt there's many, and I doubt those people buy the timber that goes into Squiers and Epiphones and things like that. But, occasionally you're going to get a tree which just sounds amazing. We had the first time I ever played a Squier Strat was my school had just bought one. And all the guitar teachers wanted to buy this guitar from the school because it was such an amazing Squier Strat. It just had a thing. It had the thing that Strats are supposed to do. The other thing that you should never do, and I saw someone do it, is take the springs out of the tremolo of a Strat, unless you're blocking it to
take
block
them out.
Yeah, I know people who've they normally come with five springs, don't they? I know people
three normally, isn't it?
I'm sure I've seen them with five. I'm sure.
Have you? Wow.
Yeah. No less than 3 ever, because you're cutting down the contact between the strings and the body.
That's a good point, actually.
No less than 3 ever.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up with a plank.
Huh?
Otherwise, you end up with a plank. A plank of wood with some string stretched across it, and the whole thing about Fender is that the strings go through the body and they're attached by high tension springs to the bodywork.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Bruce, it seems that Bruce is Bruce has some great comments. Agree with Paul about resale. You can build a custom Warmouth, which is as good as any Fender custom shop. Absolutely. You can do a proper setup, but the day after you build it, it's worth half of what it cost you. Exactly. That is so true. Fantastic guitar and no resale value.
What guitar were we talking about the other day that we saw? And you said they're amazing guitars, better than any Fender custom shop.
Heritage.
Yes,
No, Gibson. They're the guys that used to build the Gibsons at, I can't remember the Gibson factory.
Was it the one in Kalamazoo?
Yeah, Kalamazoo. I think it was Kalamazoo. Yeah. And when Gibson moved out, the guys that worked there decided to build to make a company called Heritage Guitars, and they're fantastic guitars. And the thing is, and they're as good, if not better, than a 335 or a Les Paul.
That's what we're talking about.
But it hasn't got Gibson on the headstock, so it's like you buy it and it's going to cost you the same amount of money as a 335, but the day you want to sell it, it's worth half the amount.
Crazy.
Okay, good kit is inspirational, absolutely. Ahmed K says, when you buy an SSL 4000 E channel, does it include the Legacy 4000 also? Can you let us know what plugins...
I think he means UA. I think he means UAD, because Legacy is UAD, isn't it?
Okay, shall I have a look?
I don't think you get it with it. I don't think you do, depending on the package. Depending on the package.
I'm gonna have a look. Okay, I think you do.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You mean, do you get it if you buy it new? No, if you've already got the Legacy version, they give it to you.
Yes.
Do you know? I don't know for definite. I don't think so. It was Ahmed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ahmed. Yeah, I don't think so. But to be honest, most of the updated plugins are better than the Legacy plugins. The only one that's not is the
thingy console, the Helios.
Helios,
the
absolutely.
Helios console.
Yeah, it's the only one. It's the only one, I think. Mike, Strat pickup. Greg Koch ones get a Sir dummy coil fit. That's true, yeah. The Sir pickups are great, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, they're really good. Bruce, I'm a guitar player, so the only plugin I really use is the one at the end of my amplifier, power chord. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you say
that way, mate.
You're preaching to the converted,
Tommy says, what plugins have been on your master bus recently? Now, we were going to talk about this.
Yeah, we started off talking about plugins, then got to guitars and stuff.
James, do you want to talk about yours?
Yes, I do. Now, a little while ago, and I noticed that Michael has joined us. Hello, mate. I was talking about a plugin, and we had this list, this idea of this our show tonight. It was all about plugins and the plugins we like and we use. And I think of this as a utility plugin. And I'm going to show you. Hopefully this will work. Let me just go into here. I'm going to set this up on the master channel. You can't see this yet, so don't panic. It is called... what is it called? I've forgotten. Right. Now, wish me luck, viewer. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. When I do this... Oh, this is so very confusing. Transition, go.
While you're doing that, shall I answer a couple of questions?
No, I'm there now. I've done it.
I've
done it. I promise I've done it. Okay. I just need to make sure we've all gone live and you can see it, because otherwise it's going to be completely meaningless. This is an amazing plugin. Now, again, I have to be totally open and say, yes, I do. I am working with the amazing team at Isotope, but this is a plugin called Total Balance Control, and it's purely a utility plugin. But what it does is it allows you to a visual reference on your output, on your mix. So, for example, let me... this is tonal balance control. It's divided into 4 sections. Press play, and you can see me there. So I'm going to just drag that up.
So it's a multi-band compressor, yeah?
No, there's no processing in it. It's a metering plugin.
Oh.
So, for example, this is the track that I've got loaded here is a rock track. So I'm going to load up a rock preset, and you'll hopefully notice these bands will jump about a bit. And now when I play back, someone was talking about Pink Floyd earlier, so it seemed only vaguely appropriate. I think it was Larry North is in the house. So You'll notice these little white lines that are jumping around in the band, the frequency fields. What that means is that I'm in a good place for meeting the criteria set out by tonal balance control. Now, the team at Isotope went away and analysed over 10,000 pieces of music, well mastered pieces of music in different genres, and hence the long and the short of it now is that I've got an idea, a range idea of how my mix should go together. So if I play back again, and what I'll do is I'll tweak the bottom end. You can see here that the low frequency is a little bit high. That's probably because the bass guitar and the kick drum is a bit high. So let's bring the bass guitar down a little bit. And you can tweak your mix to get it absolutely bang on with the tonal balance curves. You can see the top end is a little bit, the very top end's great, but the mid-high is a little bit high. That could be the fact that the guitar is quite loud.
That's a great idea.
It's a great tool. Now, this at the moment is in broad mode. If I go into fine mode, you get an even more, it's a finer kind of dial down, if you like. And it will change on the screen any second now, hopefully, so you can all see it. It's a really, really cool utility plugin, just to give you an idea. So basically, it's a bit like going out to the car to listen to your mix, but you're doing it in this case with hindsight, if you like. You're going out knowing that you're in a pretty good place by compared to other tracks in your genre. I think this is a really, really cool. It's certainly improved my mixing a lot.
No, that's a great idea.
It's not doing anything. It's just a monitoring plugin to give you an idea of saying, right, here is a good thing, here is a bad thing. You're a bit outside the norm at this point.
Yeah.
Very, very cool plugin, and incredibly useful. So yeah, that's my master bus processing at the moment. It's not really processing. It's a monitor. It's great.
I'll show mine in a second. I'm just going to answer a question.
Okay.
Matt Wright says, "Hi Matt. Have you tried a Grays Telecaster? I've seen Graham Coxon using one, and it sounds great. Yes, I've tried a Grays Telecaster. It is one of the best guitars. One of the best guitars I've ever played. And I've asked him to send me one so I can do a review of it, and he's not interested. So he's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me, my playing, or whatever. But it's there seems to be a lot of these small boutique companies that don't understand about
marketing,
getting their marketing exactly. Yeah, for God's sake, just send me a guitar. It's like literally, I borrow it for a couple of days, I play it, I do a review of it, I send it back, I get nothing for it, but I'm doing you a favour, and it's not interested. So, thanks, Mr. Gray.
Maybe when we hit that magic 10,000, all things will change.
Maybe, you never know, do you? You never know. You
Tell your friends.
Yeah, but you want to. Yeah. Okay. Right. I'm going to share my screen.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to go to Lunar.
Lunar.
I love Lunar, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. Right. Matt.
You're not sharing your screen.
Am I not?
No, you're not.
Let's try again.
There we go. Right. Let's put that on there. There we go.
Right. I've got Matt to thank for this. Matt Wright. He's on at the moment. So if I can dig it, actually, let me get rid of your
marketing there. Oh, there it is.
It sounds fantastic. So my go-to master bus compressor. So I've had like hardware units. I've had the favourite one that I owned was a Focusrite Red 3. Sounded great.
Hardware or
hardware? Yeah,
yep.
I had the hardware version. Yeah, it was great. Then someone sent me a mix to do, and it had the Waves SSL G compressor on it.
Yep.
And I was like, hold on a second, I've got this rack unit here which is worth $2,500. and this plugin sounds just as good. So I've been happily using the Waves G-Bus compressor. Sounds absolutely brilliant. And then Matt said, why don't you try this this Shadow Hills? And I tried it, and it is absolutely bang on. So shall I play the mix with it out and with it in?
Please do.
Right, here's with it turned off. Actually, let's go to the chorus. Let's go to here. So that's this bring in. And out. And in. So much so, I want the hardware.
Do you know what? The hardware is amazing, and do you know the coolest thing about it is, oh, there I am.
Hold on.
Stop your screen share. There
Hello.
we go. You know the coolest thing about the hardware?
What's that?
The little magic eye, the green thing in the middle.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
It's from German World War II submarines.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a brilliant thing that I think I learned it from the guys at KMR once at a show. It's like they feel amazing, but I mean, it's what is it, $3.5?
Oh, it does feel
$4,000?
amazing.
It's not a cheap thing, is it?
I think it's about $5,000. Yeah, it's about $5,000.
Beautiful.
It's that or an APB.
An APB, mate. I know where I'd go, but hey, that's just the way, isn't it? That's what I do. Shall I go for?
Let's just do another question.
Right.
Oh no, sorry, James. Go on. Yeah, please, you go.
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go back into this session again, and I'm going to play you. Again, this was a plugin that I fell in love with long before I started working at the company. It is just an awesome plugin. Tonal balance control is brilliant, but this is one of my favourite delay plugins of all time. Come back, please. This is the EC300 from McDSP.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is 3 different delay units in one: magnetic, digital, and analog. Now, by far my
so it's got magnetic. So it's got a
tape
thingy in it.
It's got a copycat in it, effectively. It's got
no, the magnetic one is the
Benson.
correct?
No, this is a copycat.
Oh, okay.
Then there's a digital version, which is basically a digital delay, and then there's the analog, which is kind of Bucket Brigade meets Roland Space Echo type stuff. It's amazing, but the magnetic setting is just awesome for this type of sound. That proper Pink Floyd loveliness thing. Where's the mix? There's a saturation mode in there as well. It's just awesome.
Nice. If you use that,
you don't half miss it when you turn it off as well. It's a brilliant sounding plugin. I love it.
Yeah, delays are just delays in a mix. It's just, I've like so many delays all over a mix. So many different delays.
Sorry, I'm in my own little Pink Floyd world there just for a moment. But awesome. I really love that plugin. I mean, it's I got it years ago when it just came out, and it just came out initially. It came out Mac only, and now it's Mac and PC, which is handy as a PC. My main machine in the studio is a PC. So yeah, very very cool plugin. I love delays.
Okay, I'm going to have to show a delay in a minute because I know there's a lot of guitarists about, so I'll do it on that. How much is the tonal balance control? Mark Guitar is asking. Any idea, James?
Top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I do know it comes as part of the package for various other things. So you could. Oh, this is when my brain goes to mush as I've tried to remember.
Why don't I answer another question?
Yeah.
While you're looking that up. Okay, Tommy says, what are your thoughts on analog summing plugins like Studio One Mix Effects, a CTC One versus UAD Luna Neve summing versus Pro Tools Heat? So Pro Tools Heat was the only thing that kept me moving from Pro Tools. I thought
It's
it
so
sounded
good.
absolutely amazing. Studio One did the CTC, and it's not Heat, definitely not Heat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to say anything derogatory. Studio One, PreSonus makes some amazing stuff, and their plugins and their software is fantastic. That's just the one thing I didn't get. It was just the one thing. Everything else is amazing. The Luna Neve summing again is a new Heat as far as I'm concerned. It makes everything sound better, and it's brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Yes, hope that answers the question. So James, if you see anomalies, what changes would you do? EQ, remix, how to achieve a better balance with tone control.
So basically,
I think we're gonna have to do. I think we're gonna have to do a whole sort of show on this
yes, I mean certainly I could
thing.
between that and a couple of the other McDSP. There's a Freudian slip. Between that and a couple of the other isotope plugins, I could do an entire show on these things because they are that good. I'm just trying to find a price for tonal balance control on its own. It comes as part of various other packages. I don't think it's that expensive, but it's a really, really useful tool. It's a very, very useful tool.
While you're still looking it up, shall I share my screen and I'll show my go-to delay plugin?
Yes, go on then.
Can I do that?
Yeah, do it.
Okay, let's go start sharing. Tell me when I'm in.
You are. Hang on. Well, I can see myself, which is always concerning. But yeah, you're in now.
Okay. Actually, I won't show it on a guitar because I'm going to show it on this vocal, and let me show it on the. I'm going to show it on the lead vocal in the chorus, and let me just find it. I think it's this. Where is it? It must be Vox Delay 1. So. The best delay plugin in the world as far as I'm concerned.
Echo Boy. Yeah.
Echo Boy. Have a listen. So I've automated this in and out of the track. Now, for some reason, who makes this? I can't think of SoundToys. Some SoundToys plugins, the graphics aren't working that well in Luna for some reason, but you'll hear it in the verse. Let me first of all just play the vocal track. The whole mix with the vocal in the chorus. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the middle eight.
Sometimes you run so fast that you can't even recognize what you running from is something that you try to hide. I was blinded by the lightning of my own stone. Came into my life and made me feel like I'm alone. So when I'm pushing and I'm pulling and I'm tearing at the pain that I feel inside, I know there's a light, there's a light.
So all of those delay throws are all Echo Boy, and the great thing about Echo Boy is it has saturation and it has these different styles. So what they've done, they've modelled all of these different delay machines, and you get them all in the one plugin. So for instance, all the different tapes, space echo, tube tapes, digital delays, memory mends, bissonets, telephone delays, all that sort of stuff, and it's just the most versatile delay. Like if you need a weird sounding delay, it's got it. If you need a really clean sounding delay, it's got it. It does absolutely everything.
Just to jump back briefly, Tonal Balance Control
Yes.
2 is 199 of your finest American dollars.
Nice.
So it does also come as part of various packages like the Ozone Standard and Advanced, Neutron Standard and Advanced. It's a very, very cool plugin.
Nice. Yeah, really
Anywho,
good.
there you go.
You got any more?
Always.
Shall we do reverbs?
Yes, definitely. Because I know
we're probably just going to pick the same ones.
No, well, the reason I'm picking this one is because I would have picked the one that I know you're going to pick.
Okay.
This is my favourite reverb, and it's also my favourite price or it was
Ooh.
my favourite price, because it was a
Free?
freebie.
Awesome.
It was a freebie reverb from the guys at Arturia. Let me share my screen. There it is. This is the spinning beach ball. Cross your fingers.
Oh no.
Oh, it's. Now, if everyone thinks Happy Mac's highly overworked at the moment, this is the Rev Plate 140 from Arturia. Before Christmas, it was a free. It's very, very cool. I think it's
Right.
fairly inexpensive even now. I'm just gonna make sure. No, that's really not playing the game, is it? It's basically.
Can everyone still hear James? Because I know that I'm up on the screen now.
Yeah,
Can everyone still hear
you
James?
were.
Just put yes.
You were. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's basically trying to be an EMT 140 plate, and it just works. It's great. I absolutely adore it.
Oh, awesome.
Pro Tools has given up the ghost. Yeah.
Is it still free?
I don't think it's free now. It was free for a limited period, but I think it's fairly inexpensive. I don't think the Arturia plugins are that expensive anyway. So I'm gonna ditch Pro Tools. Yeah, Pro Tools has gone officially into non-responding. So
Okay.
we'll come back to it. Talk about Reverb, and I'll come back to and show you this one because it is awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. Is that all right?
Yarp. Let me just make sure.
Let me start sharing. Here we go.
Say
Let me know when you can see moi.
we have got you. I can see myself.
I'm in.
There we go.
Okay.
Do
Again, let's
your
stick
thing.
on the vocal.
Yeah.
So
I say
all my.
I already know which plugin you're going to be showing anyway. So.
Well, there's two.
Oh.
There's two. I'm going to show two. Lexicon 224.
Yep. 224.
Absolutely
Not 480.
killer. No, the 224.
Oh, controversial.
I just prefer it. I don't know why. I just think it's. Yeah, I just prefer it.
Very 8-bit.
Funny enough, not the. Is it 8-bit?
No, it's not. But it was
No.
very it was very crunchy, wasn't it? Let's face it.
I mean, with a 224, I've used a 480 and I loved it.
Yeah.
I think it sounds brilliant. The vocal, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute everything apart from the 224.
Lose my step and stumble. Darkness comes from under.
So, for me, that's just sounds brilliant. It's a great sounding reverb. But now, what I'm going to do is to bring in a second reverb on the same track. Have a listen to this.
Lose my step and stumble. Darkness comes from under.
Yeah. You had me at hello with that one.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, for me, I mean, on this track, I mean, it's not obviously going to work on every track, but layering the 224 with capital reverb to get the capital chambers is just reverb heaven for me.
Mate, I completely agree with you. I totally and utterly agree. Let me try now and get mine back because I just want to play you this plate because this sounds so good. Considering it's free or at least inexpensive. I've just put it across the drums.
Michael's just said it's 99. I don't know if it's $99 or £99, but he said 99.
Yeah, probably $99.
Reverb plate. Yeah.
Well, actually, probably euros because they're a French company, so it's probably euros.
Oh, okay.
And let's face it, these days there's not much difference between euros, dollars, and pounds anyway.
Nah.
So I've got it on this drum bus. I'm just going to. Have I done anything clever here? Like actually had a drum. Yeah, that works well, doesn't it? There we go. So, and I'm just going to bring it on the snare. I love plate reverb on drums. Various models. The decay's amazing. I love plate reverbs. I'd love the real thing. I would love a proper EMT 140 plate.
Haven't you got enough in there?
Yeah, I think I've got enough toys. They're very fragile as well. Apparently,
Yeah.
they don't keep going forever. Yeah. So, but 99 quid. It's a damn fine reverb for 99 quid. How are we doing for questions and things?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Oh,
sure
no, we're doing all right.
there's any more.
All right, well, let's keep going through the list then.
Well, we're sort of running out of time.
Are we?
Sort of running out of time.
Blimey.
Yeah. We've got. Well, there's 4 minutes. Well, if we're sticking to our hour, there's 4 minutes left. I just want to know from everyone: is it still worth us doing these Wednesday live Q&As? Is everyone still into it? Seems to be. It seems to be that we're getting, last week we got quite a few. We got quite a few people watching it. So,
well, I think it had a 650. Was it the final total for the week? That's not bad, is it?
No, it's $1,000.
Was it?
It was
brilliant.
It was over 1,000. Yeah,
better still.
It's over 1,000. Yeah, but if I guess if everyone's still into it, we'll keep doing it. I quite enjoy doing it. It's almost like sort of sitting down with a bunch of mates, isn't it? And
the only thing we're missing is a pub, but
oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it?
That'd be nice.
Wednesday night pint with your mates. Oh, stop it! I'm dreaming again. I'm still up for doing it. I would love to know what you out there in YouTube land would like us to talk about, because we can come up with these brilliant ideas and go, let's talk about plugins, let's talk about guitars and stuff, or whatever. I'm totally happy to chew the fat, as it were, about any musical stuff, be it music, be it writing, production, tech, any of that sort of stuff. I'm well up for that. This is the cue for you all to write nice things in the comments and say how brilliant it is. Paul's gone.
Sorry, no, I'm looking at questions. I'm so sorry, mate.
Cat's had his hair permed again.
What's that?
Exactly.
There's a couple of things. Oh, Mike Aiton says my Strat and my Ibanez Matheny. Yeah, definitely Plek guitars.
Yes, Mike's Ibanez is particularly lovely. His Matheny copy signature is lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Oh, awesome.
And he's done the right thing with it as well. He's done the proper thing with that guitar. Flat wounds.
What's that?
Flat wounds.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've actually got
flat wounds.
I've got a set here that I'm going to put on my Epiphone 335 copy, because the only thing I ever use that for is jazz, because I've got other guitars, but it's my first guitar, my first proper electric guitar, and there's no way I'm ever going to sell that.
What's that? What's that word? I didn't understand the word.
What, sell?
Begin with j. No, j.
Guitar?
Jazz.
Oh, sorry.
Jazz?
Yeah, you're afraid of jazz. Jazz scares you. That's to quote what are they called? Noel Fielding and the other dude. The Mighty Boosh. No. Yes, the Mighty Boosh. Boosh, yeah. To quote them.
Yeah, I'm definitely afraid of jazz.
Afraid of jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep at it, lads. I
just want to earn money at a gig. Do you know
the difference between a jazz guitarist and a rock guitarist?
Here we go. It's about money, isn't it?
It is actually, yeah. Similar. The difference between a jazz guitarist and a rock guitarist is a rock guitarist plays 3 chords to 1,000 people.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Sorry to any of you out there who like me, love a bit of jazz.
Great. Oh well, if it's we're getting lots of good comments, like people saying keep it going. Yes, if people are getting stuff out of it, then we're happy to keep going because we enjoy doing it.
But likewise, we're only as good as the feedback we get. It's all very nice saying yes, keep doing it, but we need
Give
to
us
know
some subjects.
Yeah, we need to know what to talk about. And you know, there's no reason why we can't get other people involved. So if it's something that we don't necessarily know or understand, I mean, a live streaming specialist would be helpful right now. Because what I see here,
it would be nice if we could sort out the latency. I don't know if it's possible, but it would be great.
I'm sure there's a way of doing it. I just don't know the way to do it.
Jazzophobe, definitely. I'm definitely a jazzophobe.
I'm also quite aware that you've probably frozen on the stream, so hopefully we'll keep things moving. But
I love that. Mark Guitar said, "Jazz isn't dead; it just smells funny." Apparently a Zappa quote. Absolutely.
We've descended into chaos already, haven't we? It's the sign, isn't it? A sign to pull up stumps and head for home.
Yeah.
Keep your comments coming in. I love doing this. It's great fun. We're only going to get better at it, I hope. We couldn't get much worse. And we will eventually solve these technical gremlins that sort of work their way in on almost a daily or weekly basis. But
do you know what I think it is? I reckon it's the time of night we're doing it because every little oik is on the internet at the same time.
How
taking
very
up our
dare
bandwidth.
they? How dare they?
How dare them?
Do they not know who we are?
Who we're not.
Yeah.
Yes. So any questions? Also, if there's any video ideas you want us to make on anything from the Boss Katana to plugins to
Studio Techniques,
valve amplifiers.
We do actually
Studio Techniques. Anything.
We do have a really cool in that we were talking about. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the Synergy amps, weren't we?
Yes.
We're going to do a special on Synergy amps. I'm going to get one as well.
Okay, great. Can you get me? Can you get them to lend me the Morgan, please? The AC20.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get
the
that.
AC.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get that.
That's what I want.
The Morgan and the Friedman. I think they were having a laugh that week, weren't they?
Well, that's it. You can get you get the Friedman, I'll get the Morgan, and then it's all good.
So I want the Soldano because that's the amp I want in the world.
I had the Soldano one.
I know, but that's not your sound, is it?
It's a one-trick pony.
I know, but what?
Mr. Duxbury's in the house. Duxbury's in the house. Oh, Jack, you just missed that, mate. You just missed it. What's on the Drew's master bus at the Mo? I'm gonna. Can I show him again?
You can. You can.
I'm gonna show because it's Jack and he's just the bestest. Let's have a look. Okay, Jackie boy. On the master bus, there is the Shadow Hills, and doing my limiting job is the Slate.
I tell you what, the Slate stuff is wicked.
That is talking about updating this thing for about 10 years, and he hasn't.
Quite frankly,
he needs to stop shouting at the camera. He needs to stop shouting and start fixing his plugins. It sounds brilliant. Anyway, I'll demonstrate both this again with the Slate as well because these are both massive, huge making difference plugins. Here we go. Can you see my screen? You can see it.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
I'm not hear myself. Oh, I know why, because I've soloed something. Hold on. Oh, it's professional.
Day one, week one.
Take out Shadow Hills. Take out FGX. Bring them in.
It is an awesome sounding thing.
It's great. They're great. Such two great plugins. Two awesome sound plugins.
Yeah, we like that. Hopefully that helps, Jack. We should get him on here to talk about keyboards, shouldn't we?
Oh no, we should do a live. Yeah, we should definitely get Jack on for keyboards But we should also do Jack's live rant at the music industry. I love Jack for ranting at the music industry as well. You can do both, Jack.
Could get us shut down.
Huh?
Could get us shut down.
Yeah, Jack, if you're up for that, if you want to come over one night, we could do it. We could do it together, or maybe we could try and patch you in from your place.
I'm not sure my brain can cope with that.
Jack's that was my favourite podcast we did with Jack.
It was funny. It was really funny.
Funny, yeah. Love that.
So it's my ball, and I'm going home, which is a very polite way of saying we're off.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Just same time, same place next week. And if you have any, particular subjects you want us to cover, just let us know, and we'd be more than happy.
Yes, totally. Anything we can do, all those sort of things. We're here to have a laugh, really, aren't we?
Oh, that's good. Mike's just said, how about we send in demos for review? That'd be great.
Great idea. Yeah, I like that.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We'd love that, Mike. Yeah.
We'd like that, and say live mix critiques almost. That's brave, isn't it? Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
I'm up for that. Someone can have a listen to my stuff and go, oh my God, what on earth is he doing? Cool.
Yeah, we're not precious.
Not at all. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone who's joined on the live stream, and for everyone who watches all the way through throughout the week. We will see you back next week. Can't believe it'll be episode 9 next week. What's that all about?
What? Is it really?
Next
We've
week
done 2 months of this.
Next week is episode. This is the end of the second month. Crazy. Oh my word.